everyone, welcome to
Or back to our channel.
I was going to say to the new year, but also to our channel.
You're right. Also, Happy New Year's.
Also, Happy New Year's. It's currently New Year's Eve when we're filming this, and hopefully it will get up very soon in the new year. But yeah.
Yeah. So 2024 was, kind of shit, personally, professionally. But reading-wise is pretty good.
I had a fine time.
So let's talk about some books we're excited for in 2025.
Yes, there's so many books that are coming out next year that I'm very excited for. So we're going to do a little anticipated releases for January, February, and March. Just that little bit. Okay, so the first release day of the year is January 7th, and one that we're both excited for is Immortal by Sue Lynn Tan.
I think it's also the Fairy Loot for January, so that's very exciting for us. And we also pre-ordered the Barnes & Noble edition. All her books are always gorgeous, and I've read her duology and then the short stories that came out later.
Sorry, I look like I'm not paying attention. I was just pulling it up on Goodreads to get a little bit about the synopsis.
Okay.
It's a standalone romantic fantasy filled with dangerous secrets, forbidden magic, and passion of a young ruler who fights to protect her kingdom, and it's set in the same world of Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which I really liked. I really liked that book.
Yeah, her world building and just vibes were always immaculate.
Yeah,
I didn't love her characters as much. I didn't really connect with them from the Celestial Kingdom duology, and I kind of felt like the second book was unnecessary, but I did really like her world and her writing, so I'm excited for that one.
Yeah. Okay, and then the other book I have is A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. She did the Unmaking of June Farrow and A Spells for Forgetting, and this is about a woman investigating her brother's mysterious death and coming to terms with her own haunting past. Her novels are really atmospherical ways, and I have a good time with them, so I'm excited for that.
My next two coming out on the 7th. The first one is Breath of the Dragon by Fonda Lee and Shannon Lee. I'm really excited for this one. I loved the Greenbone Saga by Fonda Lee, and I also really liked the show Warrior that Shannon Lee wrote or helped produce or something. So I'm really excited for this book. It's the first in a YA fantasy duology based on characters and teachings created by Bruce Lee. So we actually saw it in Barnes & Noble the other day.
I was like, wasn't that already out?
But we pre-ordered it, so I guess they just must have put it up early. So it should be coming.
That's really early.
Yeah, it was really early. I was surprised.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's not even January yet. Okay.
My last one is Adrift in Currents, Clean and Clear. It's, I think, the 10th book in the Wayward Children series by Seanan McGuire. I've caught up. This year I read 3 of them, so I'm really excited. We're following Nadia, who was the girl in, I think, book 3 that went back into the turtle pond to try to find her world. So I'm excited to revisit her.
Okay, cool, yeah. And then on the 14th, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, which is Grady Hendrix' new book, comes out. Very excited for that. I have heard it's less supernaturally scary and more real-world cruelty scary. So we'll see how I get along with that. But I do generally and genuinely enjoy his books. So I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for Watermoon. It is the Illumicrate pick for January. So I don't know that much about it, but I've been seeing it on a couple other people's anticipated releases. It seems pretty interesting.
Really pretty cover. I really like
yeah. It's a woman inherits a pawn shop where you can sell your regrets and then embark on a magical journey. So, yeah, I'm interested in it.
Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor. Listen, I don't know what this is about, but I'm here for it. I think it's going to be a fun time. It says that Zilu is dropped from her university job and her latest novel is rejected on the middle of her sister's wedding. Her life is upended. She's disabled, unemployed, and from a nosy, high-achieving, judgmental family. She's not sure what comes next. And then she decides to write a book, and her life, goes to chaos. I really like Nnedi Okorafor's writing, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, I haven't read any Nnedi Okorafor yet, but that one's also on my list. And then the last one that I have is Spy Family Volume 13.
So exciting.
So I'm so excited. Volume 12 left off on kind of a cliffhanger, so I can't wait.
I have a couple more for the 14th, or maybe just one more. Lightfall by Ed Crocker. It's this epic fantasy about vampires, werewolves, sorcerers, all that kind of stuff. I've never read anything by Ed Crocker, but apparently he's highly celebrated. And I just love me a good epic fantasy with vampires and werewolves and witches. That sounds great. Oh, Baguette is doing things.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have anything for the 21st?
Yeah, I have one for the 21st, and that's The Rainfall Market. It's a translated book. It says, if you could swap your life for a better one, which would you choose? On the outskirts of Rainbow Town, there's an old abandoned house. They say that if you send a letter detailing your misfortunes there, you could receive a ticket. If you bring this ticket to the house on the first day of the rainy season, you'll be granted entrance into the mysterious Rainfall Market, where you can choose to completely change your life. I think this one is it's translated from Korean, and yeah, I like translated works. It sounds like it'll be right up my alley. Kind of feel good, but also hurts you a little bit.
Hurts you a lot of it, actually. Cue crying at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I have two for the 21st. The first one is Give Me Butterflies by Jillian Meadows, and this is a romance book about two people that work in a museum. I think it's a natural history museum, and that sounds
Cute.
very exciting. I think it's Grumpy Sunshine. Should be a good time. Okay, I have one more. Moth Eater by Linda H. Kodaga, and it's a queer fantasy set amid the Appalachian Mountains in Virginia. It's about the last witch of the witch, which choose side and clash between industry and nature, which sounds very much up my alley. I love stories set in Appalachia, because we live near-ish. Like, it's the closest mountains. If you like,
Yeah, okay.
we could get there in an hour.
That's true.
And queer, fantasy, real life, industrial, nature. It's everything. Okay, I think that's it I have for January. Do you have anything on the 28th?
I don't.
Okay.
All right, moving on to February. I only have 3 for February.
Oh, I have so many more.
I think that's because there's a lot of romance that gets released in February.
I don't even think all mine, most of mine aren't romance.
Okay.
I think like 2 are.
Okay.
So,
Okay, well, I think the 4th is the first
the
release
4th
date.
is the first date. Yep. What do you got?
So I have The Bones Beneath My Skin,
by
which is
TJ.
TJ Klune's new book. I don't really know anything about it. I haven't really even read the synopsis, but it's TJ Klune, so
I'm gonna pick it
gonna
up.
pick it up.
Yeah,
He's
no.
kind of an Autobahn out there at this point.
Yes. Similarly, I don't really know anything about the synopsis, but Kate Alice Marshall has a new book, A Killing Cold. She just does good, solid mystery thrillers, so don't really know anything about it, but I'll pick it up. Also coming out on the 4th is Deepened by Allie Hazelwood. I love me an Allie Hazelwood, and this one is about swimmers.
Oh, interesting. Not a STEMinist.
Well, they're in college, and
Oh,
I'm sure maybe one of them is like
STEM
maybe
major.
yeah. So they're like competitive swimmers. I have another one that I wrote down here, but it's not by. I categorize mine by like authors I've read before and authors I hadn't yet. So there's one here from an author I haven't read, so I guess the synopsis sounded good to me at some point. So it's called Listen to Your Sister by Nina Veal, and it says it's for fans of Jordan Peele's films Stranger Things and The Other Black Girl. Listen to Your Sister is a laugh out loud, deeply terrifying, and big-hearted speculative horror novel from electrifying debut talent. Yeah, I mean, all of that. That's not even the synopsis. That's just like the tagline. But that sounds good to me. So I love me. I love funny horror. I love like horror books that are funny.
I have one more for the 4th.
Let's go for it.
And it's called The Curious Kitten at the Chibineko Kitchen by Yuta Takahashi. This is another like translated fiction, kind of magical realism, right up my alley, feel good, hurts you.
Yeah.
Kind of my thing.
Okay, and going into the romances that Mary was just so sure there'd be so many of. I think I have like 2. On the 11th, I have First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. This is the first book in her new series, the Heartstring series. I don't know much about it. I think the guy is like a radio host, and it's a Sleeping in Seattle retelling, which I loved that movie growing up.
Isn't it Sleepless in Seattle?
That's exactly what it is. Sleepless in Seattle. No, because it's Sleepless in Seattle, and then I also liked While You Were Sleeping.
Oh, okay.
And I would always...
Are they both Meg Ryan?
No, one of them is
okay.
Sandra Bullock.
Gotcha.
While You Were Sleeping is the one where a guy falls onto the train tracks, and then she pulls him out, and he's like in a coma, and then she accidentally tells his family that they're like fiance, like engaged.
I don't think I've ever seen that
Oh,
one.
it's a good one if you haven't seen it. So yeah, First Time Caller is a Sleepless in Seattle retelling, and that sounds really good. She's coming to
To East City, right?
yeah, but I didn't get off the
yeah.
wait list. It
Sad.
was sold out. And then the third Emily Wild's Compendium of Lost Tales comes out, and if you know anything about me, I love me and Emily Wild.
The last one. It's a trilogy, right?
Yeah, probably. I think that would make sense.
I'm excited for that
and
one
I'm
as well.
super excited for that. Do you have anything else for February?
Nope. I only had 3, so.
Okay, well, I'll just keep going then. So I also have Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli, which is the sequel to Heartless Hunter, or the second one of the Crimson Moth duology, which I loved this year. That was a really surprising hit for me, so I'm very excited for that. And then I have 2 that come out on the 25th. The first is Something in the Walls by Daisy Pierce, which sounds like a horror. It's about a child psychologist, and she's scary. So she's a child psychologist, and she goes to help a girl that's being haunted, and it's spooky. And then we have Back After This by Linda Holmes is another romance coming out on February 25th. And this is about a podcast producer who agrees to host a new series about modern dating, but will the show jeopardize her chance at finding real love? Ooh. So that sounds fun to me. Oh, and then I have one book coming out on the 27th, which is a little strange, but I think it's because it's being probably released in the UK first, maybe. I don't know. But it's Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. She's the one who wrote
Wrong Place, Wrong Time.
That's the one, Wrong Place, Wrong Time. And about a woman whose husband is being held hostage.
Ooh.
So, I don't know. I really like her writing. I think she's really fun. Okay, March. You can go for a little bit because I've been going forever.
All right. So I have 5 for March. But all of these I'm pretty excited for. I think Katie has more because she included more authors that she hasn't read from.
Mm-hmm.
I was mostly just looking at the authors that are kind of auto-buy for me, and then a couple covers, titles that caught my eye. On the 4th, I'm so excited. Oathbound by Tracy Deonn comes out.
So excited.
Do I remember anything about Legendborn and Bloodmarked? No, but I know I loved them. I read both of them in 3 days while I was in Italy, so it's kind of a blur.
After I've been telling her for 3 years that she was gonna love them,
and I hadn't gotten around to it. But anyways, and I devoured them, so I'm so excited for Oathbound. And then I have 2 more. Fable for the End of the World by Ava Reed. I think one of the comp titles for this was Hunger Games. So yeah, I don't know that much about it, but I have liked Ava Reed's other books.
Yeah, I generally like her books as well. I think the only one I didn't love was Lady Macbeth.
I haven't read that one yet.
And it was very, very different than her other books as well.
Yeah.
Also coming out on the 4th is the 5th, Finlay Donovan, which sounds crazy that's even...
Wow.
They're on book 5, and it's Finlay Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. And I swore up and down after the 3rd book, because I hated the 3rd book, that I was done with this series. I was like, okay, I will read the 4th one, but I'm not gonna buy it. I'll read it from the library, and if that one's not good as well, I'm done. But the 4th one I really enjoyed, so now I'm back into it. But again, if that, I probably won't buy it. I'll get it from the library, and if this one's bad, I'm done.
I have one more for the 4th.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, is it Sunrise of the Reaping? On the Reaping?
No, Sunrise on the Reaping comes out on the 18th.
Oh yeah, it does say that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And so then the last one for the 4th.
For you, I have more on the 4th.
Oh, the last one for me is The Scorpion and the Night Blossom by Amelie Wen Zhao. She wrote the Song of Silver Flame Night duology, which I enjoyed. I probably won't buy this one automatically, but I am interested in picking that up.
For me, The Rag Picker King comes out, and that's the sequel to Swordcatcher by Cassie Clare. Very excited for that. If you don't know what Swordcatcher it's about this guy who looks like the prince, and so he's the prince's swordcatcher or bodyguard, and then chaos ensues. Also,
why did I think that he falls in love with the prince?
I mean, I kind of wanted it to happen.
But it's not.
It's not.
Oh, okay, that's
there's other love. I mean, hey, we're only one book in. Who's to say what happens?
Could happen.
They have a really weird relationship, the prince.
Well, see, I think because of the cover, I thought that it was a gay romance between him and the prince.
That cover. Thinking of Swordcrossed.
Maybe.
I don't think there's people on Swordcatcher's cover.
There? Maybe it's a different edition.
I think you're thinking of Swordcrossed.
No, it's this one, the Fairy Loot. I think the Fairy Loot edition of Swordcatcher makes it look like it's gonna be a queer romance.
No, they just look alike.
I see.
Yeah, that's like the whole thing. Is
Gotcha,
like he like
gotcha.
looks like the prince.
I see. So he's his body double.
Yeah, that's why he's the sword catcher.
Yeah. I got it.
Okay, I'm excited for Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. I don't know much about it, but it's being pitched as The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue meets This Is How You Lose the Time War, and a fantastical love story that finds death as two souls reincarnate through the centuries. And that sounds vibey and sad, and I love that for me. Also, I have Count My Lies by Sophie Stava, and this is being compared to Lisa Jewell, and it's just like a mystery thriller about a girl who lies a lot, and then it like she gets in trouble.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna do. Oh no, you can go next. Do you have anything for the 18th?
No, but I have something for the 13th.
Okay, do that.
I have one coming out on March 13th. It's Faithbreaker by Hannah Kaner, which is the last in her Godkiller trilogy. In the Fallen Gods trilogy. I really liked Godkiller. It was an Olima Crate book. And Sunbringer, I liked less. I think it suffered a little bit from middle book syndrome, but I'm excited to see how she wraps everything up. I really liked her characters. the girl, Inara, and Sketty.
Sketty! Yeah.
So, I'm interested to see what happens in the end.
What happens there?
Lots of shit went down in Sunbringer, so.
What is probably everyone's most anticipated book of the year comes out on the 18th.
And that is
Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, which is Haymitch's book in the Hunger Games.
I don't know about you, but Haymitch was always my favorite character. I never really liked Katniss.
I get
Thought
it, you're just
she was quite irritating.
not like other girls.
And you know what? I was like, am I a bad feminist because I don't like Katniss? But no, because I also hate Darrow from Red Rising. It's not because she's a woman. It's because her character's annoying, and I don't like characters like that. And Darrow is like Katniss.
Darrow is a lot like Katniss.
And I can't stand him.
That is true.
Anyways, we got off track.
Anyways,
there.
we're both really
But
excited
we're
about
very excited
that.
for that.
I'm really excited about The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. I don't really know much else about it. It's a Stephen Graham Jones. I really like that. And The Buffalo Hunter sounds like we're going to be on the plains doing some batshit crazy stuff. Very excited for that.
Is that it?
Um,
You got more things written down?
That's cool.
Okay. Are we done?
No, I have things for the 25th.
Oh, okay.
Do you have anything else in March?
Nope, that was it.
Okay, coming out on March 25th, I have Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna Van Veen. It's a historical fiction that's like macabre, and it's about a girl, Lucy's twin sister Sarah is unwell. She refuses to eat. Anyway, her sister is going crazy, and then Lucy soon comes to suspect that something is trying to possess her beloved sister. Bum bum bum. I don't know, it sounds spooky and fun. Also is This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead. I also don't know anything about the synopsis. I'm kind of going in blind, but Ashley Winstead wrote In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which I really enjoyed. I also didn't hate Midnight is the Darkest Hour. I know a lot of people hated that, but I thought it was like so goofy that I was just like having a good time with it. But I've heard this book has been getting like good early reviews, so I'm very excited about that. I think that's it.
Alrighty. Well, let us know what you're excited about in the first quarter of the next year.
And I'm sure more things will be announced,
Yes.
and everything will be really good, and I won't read half these books until like 2026. So,
All right. Happy New Year.
Happy
Catch
New
you
Year,
in the next
bye.
video. Bye.